Welcome back to another episode of Soul Stirring Sessions. I'm excited to come to you from my living room during COVID-19 quarantine, but I'm excited to share with you some more encouragement to help you get a little better, a little faster, a little stronger, and to learn how to encourage your community better from a place of emotional resourcefulness. If you know me, you know I care about that, about getting yourself, taking self-care so that you're able to provide support for others a little bit better. And so this is going to be the first of a few-part series called Human Discounting. And it's a phrase that I've coined that I think really encapsulates the experience of many people that are a part of this community, where you might have felt marginalized or you've experienced different ways of being discounted because of the marginalized communities that you might represent. I represent being a youngest child, so I've been marginalized in that way. And it sometimes makes me laugh when I think about as a child when I would have ideas that I would bring to the family, and I thought they were good, but because I was the youngest child, I didn't have a say at what should happen or what we should eat or where we should go on vacation. And so someone else older would say the same ideas, and then they would be given credit for that. When I felt like I had the idea first, I was like, why didn't y'all hear me? I was trying to say that the whole time. So being discounted as a human is something that we have all experienced. We've all experienced being isolated and excluded and marginalized in some way, shape, or form. So I think we can all relate to this. So the first thing I want to do is just to give you a definition that I'm going to be working with for this phrase that I've coined, human discounting. What is it? So human discounting is a rapid, conscious or subconscious factoring in of human demographics of privilege and marginalization applied to a person's words, actions, or experiences in order to quickly determine their credibility, right? So I'll read it one more time for you a little bit later, but the idea came to me when I kept hearing people talking about how they were discounted in experiences when they were in meetings at work and they would say an idea, but because they were a woman, they weren't taken as seriously as when a man said the same exact idea. And they said, I felt like I had a discounted experience. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like I've felt that way before, often because I am a black man, or because I have even been the shorter person on a basketball court on a basketball team where I had ideas about what I could do, but people thought I couldn't do it because of my height, and so on and so forth. So I just thought about these different ways that our demographics sometimes make us feel like our experiences are being discounted. And I really want to just kind of highlight how that does work and how that plays out. So I first looked up the idea of what being discounted means in general. And discounting means, you deduct an amount from the usual price of something. It also can mean regard a possibility, a fact, or a person as being unworthy of consideration because it lacks credibility. And so I just kind of looked at my experiences, the experiences of others that I've been speaking with, and also just definitions to kind of put together what I believe will help us sort of unclutter this idea and feeling that we have around these experiences, and also give you some encouragement about how to sort of proactively combat that feeling of being discounted from your experiences. So once again, human discounting as a definition, human discounting is a rapid, conscious or subconscious factoring in of human demographics of privilege and marginalization applied to a person's words, actions, or experiences in order to quickly determine their credibility. So I think about how, one category of human discounting does happen when you are the newbie at work, right? And so being the new person, how is that experience discounted? I just want to give you a quick example of something that's happened in my life, and I would love to hear examples of what's happened in yours. I remember when I first started the job that I'm at currently, and I actually had a problem getting and receiving email. I remember my computer, literally, I came in, I was trying to get access to certain things and my email address, and I couldn't get access to the email folders that I had created for myself. And on top of that, when it came to just the entire sort of Microsoft Office that I was using, the system just wasn't as intuitive for me as I thought it would be. So I remember asking to be downgraded to an older version of Windows that I knew pretty well, and I knew that I would be able to navigate pretty easily to do my job. And so I sent an email to the service desk asking, hey guys, can you help me out here? I can't really use my email right now. Can you either send someone up to help me or just downgrade me? And so I didn't receive a response. And then I sent an actual email to the person in our office who helps with IT issues, who was more local. And so they responded to me, hey, you might want to just like wait for a little bit until you hear back from the IT department, from the other mainframe office, because it takes them a while and I don't want to mess with the system. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll be stuck here with this email until further notice. So I waited for like another week and then another week. And so it was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks after I had requested a response for assistance or a downgrade. And then I realized, I was like, wow, this is not working. No one's helping me. So I sent an email to the person who was working with me locally at the office, also one of the office managers, to let them know that I was having trouble doing my work because now I'm 3 weeks out from being able to get access to the things that I need on my computer. So after that experience happened, the next thing you know, maybe later on that day, I got an email from one of the senior management leaders, even beyond the IT department, that sent me like this warning email that said basically, you need to like calm down and slow down and understand that there's a process for everything and that you are trying to push the process faster than it normally goes here. You just got here and new people, it takes them a while to understand. So be patient. And we have copied your supervisor to let you know that we are working on it. And so it was like almost like this reprimand type of an email, right? And so one of the senior managers in the local level of my office, I guess must have been blind copied on the email because he came to my office later that same day and said, hey, yeah, man, you want to realize that, working here is like turning a big ship. You can't turn a big ship fast. It takes a while for things to happen. And things just go slow and, it takes a while to turn a big ship. So just calm down, relax. You're going to be fine. So I'm kind of like sitting back and a little bit seething about like this experience because I feel like I want to just simply use my email and I can't use it properly. It's 3 weeks in and I can't do my work. So fast forward and I see one of my other senior leader managers having a problem with the same system that we were all using to use our email. And that person had a complication for maybe about 4 hours. And then they sent an email saying, hey, I'm having a hard time getting addressing that email and being able to use my folders. They sent an email to the IT department and the IT department responded within an hour and the problem was fixed. When I found out from that senior leader that the problem was fixed really quickly, then I learned a trick of, well, if you have an issue, bring the issue through a person that has actual influence to be able to do something. Because being the new guy, no one's going to listen to my request unless I have someone backing me or someone in my corner. So my experience felt discounted because I was a new guy asking for help. And maybe because I was being so direct or maybe just being clear about what my needs were, it seemed as if maybe I was being aggressive. I don't know. But then that senior leader, because of their tenure at the place and their longevity, was able to get assistance immediately. So I felt like I had a human discounting experience. And you might have felt something similar to that also in your past. So understanding that, it really helped me to understand a couple things. Number one, being the new person at a job sometimes just sucks for a while. There's nothing you can do to kind of rush that process. However, I also learned, number two, that you kind of need to make friends. You need to make some partners and people who can be in your corner to back you. So that local person who I first brought up the IT issue with in my office, I eventually invited him out to lunch. We hung out. We had a good time, talked about life, found some points of connection, some points of intersection, and shared those things. And eventually down the road, he became someone who would ask me for support in his pursuit of more studies. He would ask me for a job and role on my team 4 years later, and some things that would happen that would kind of turn the corner. And then that also yielded the opportunity for me to eventually be able to have my requests heard, because I would just bring them up in a conversational way instead of just blasting out an email, right? So I learned to get a little smarter about how I approached issues that were being addressed. So I encourage you today to think about how your discounted experience might be in that realm, right? You might be discounted because you're the new person, or you're the youngest person, or you're experiencing that. Learn to really build bridges and understand that even though you might feel like it's kind of fake to make a friend just to get to where you need to be, at the end of the day, it's not bad to make new friends, even if you can just find one point of intersectionality in order to get someone in your corner. Having people in your corner can really help you down the road, because you might even realize that there is more connection with that person that gets in your corner than you even originally anticipated, that can help you beyond just getting what you need, but also might help you actually have a new friend who you can now actually hang out at work with and have a partner with. So challenge yourself to think differently, find points of intersection, and use that as a means of jumping off and learning how to maybe get full value and full price out of sharing your experiences from others who may not think what you share is worth the full value. So human discounting, we're going to talk about different aspects of this. I'm going to highlight some other people's stories throughout the next 5 or 6 videos. And we're excited to hear from you. Give us some comments and the feedback in this link, and then also share your experiences with us directly. All right, have a great day. Take care. Be safe out here in these streets. Drink your tea with turmeric and ginger and your garlic and your honey, and take care of yourself naturally as much as you can. Have a great day.